Got it.
Hey, Street Fighters, welcome to the show. Happy to see all y'all. Happy to be here live streaming on a Sunday night remotely. It's Street Fight call-in show. The number to dial is 614-655-3887. We've got an open queue, so we want to know what's up with you. Tell us what's going on in your world. I know there's a lot of relief efforts down in Louisiana right now. I know there's places in New York that are still hurting, so we'd love to hear from people on the ground or have reports of what went down there. Let us know. We're here to listen. We're Street Fight Radio, the number one anarcho comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing this for 10 years now, and we've been bringing the heat and getting people in the street. The world has gotten way more street fight, and we're pretty close to the dawning of the age of Aquarius that we've all been waiting for. Jump in. It's going to be a global movement across every corner of the flat earth. Workers unite and take things back for ourselves. So I'm excited for what the future holds and can't wait to live through it with all y'all and celebrate each day that is a gift on this flat earth. If you want to support what we do, head to patreon.com/streetfightradio. You can find us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube if you want to chat. Hello to Howling Fan Todd 666, Aaron Demeter, Force of Bill, and everyone else in the chat right now. We appreciate it. How you doing, Brian?
Oh, I'm great. We
wow. You sound really pepped up.
I am. I'm pepped up right now. I'm as peppy as I've ever been.
Been enjoying the day?
No, I'm kidding. It was fine. I didn't really do anything. I mean, I took a walk and bought some weed, and that was pretty much it. So,
okay.
There
usually is probably, you probably could do a couple more things than that in a day, I think.
Yeah, I could, but I
think
didn't.
There's enough time.
Yeah, I didn't want to though.
Got it.
Issue. I even took a shorter walk today. I figured, hey, I'll fucking hang around the house. I'll eat steak for dinner and then feel like I'm melting down afterwards because I ate too much. That was a little much tonight.
Yeah, you really know how to relax on a Sunday. Just kick back and enjoy a Sunday.
I was having a stay. I wanted to stay. I wanted to go heavy on a dinner, and I did. I really went off.
It's not heavy times yet. You jump.
I know, but I wanted to barbecue. You know how it is, man. You want to barbecue food, and we're running out of barbecue time, I think. So, yeah. Also, just today was the day. This weekend was the last weekend I had before I had to actually start recording Shocktober, which I begin tomorrow.
Okay.
And so I had a lot to listen to. I had to listen to a lot of stuff. And you know what's good? Let me tell you some good news for Street Fight fans.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Yeah.
Some Street Fight listener fans. I got some good news for you. Not only, yes, I went and found audio for Shocktober. Yes, of course I did. But guess who showed up too? Jim Brewer. So Street Fight listeners are going to get some Brewer time on Wednesday.
Ooh, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there's some stuff going on, Brett, that you don't even know about. I don't think you knew about this. And I'm just going to tease just a tiny bit. Did you know that in the first Captain America movie, they predicted coronavirus? They actually put on the screen that coronavirus was coming.
Oh no.
Not actually the words coronavirus is coming, but that there was a bottle of Corona. And then on the other side of Captain America, there was the ball from New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like the coronavirus. So they were like letting us know what was going on right then.
So now you're telling me that fucking Goat Boy believes that movies tell the future. Like it's just regular old Instagrammer boomer. Just a regular old ass. I seen it on the internet. They're just saying it right to our faces. These movies have their stories about, bad stuff happens to a group of people. No one stands up. You know, it's happening with this. It's happening with this. They're trying to help us, but it's to hurt us.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he is. And
now when the police are killing, minority populations, that's not like when the military is, killed 1 million people compared to the 3,000 that died at 9/11. None of that is like those parts of the movies are never sank in or never made any sense. But now that everybody seems like it's a good idea to get a vaccine, which is totally not new technology. They've had it ever since before I was goddamn born. And now it's become this thing that it feels like the last stand. I don't know. You're never going to convince somebody. I was just watching a Facebook stories today of somebody standing outside like the governor's house doing a little meeting and just saying like the mayors before this would find it despicable just what you've done. And they're just out there like trying to shame the mayor in the middle of a cul-de-sac. And I don't understand, what it is to be alive anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, and this is the thing. I'm a guy who makes part of my living listening to some of the most arrogant people in the whole entire world, right? Shock jocks, very arrogant dudes. I've even done sports talk, which is as arrogant as it gets. Jim Brewer is the most arrogant guy in the world. I cannot believe how arrogant he is. He has a line. I posted this on Twitter, so it doesn't matter if I say it. He said, like, since COVID came, people have been coming up to me and I used to talk about this stuff all the time. But since COVID, people have been coming up to me and they're like, how do you live knowing all this stuff, man? How did you live this long knowing all this stuff?
That's beautiful. I mean, man, I'm so jealous. You just think like everybody around you is just like one of your servants or like worshiping you, or eventually is like going to see the light.
How great would it be to have all the knowledge that Jim Brewer has?
Yeah, I know. Just imagine all the studying he's been able to do. He wasn't plugging away at a 9-to-5 job. Okay. He was attaining knowledge, comedy, pursuit of truth and tragedy, happiness and love. He's a scholar. He's the next George Carlin, for God's sakes.
So yeah, because I was like, okay, I should do this on Shocktober because it happened on Anthony Cumia's show. But Brewer is a Street Fight character. Brewer needs to be on Street Fight, I think.
Yeah, this is me confronting one of my heroes,
Yeah.
One of the heroes of stupid comedy.
I mean, I hate to be this guy. He was never funny. The guy was never funny.
Yeah, that's just, you're just doing that to be extra mean. You got to come up with a better critique. Say something that really would hurt his feelings. Don't just say that,
Name a funny thing.
I live for Half Baked. I loved all the Saturday Night Live stuff. I don't got no problem with Jim Brewer, man.
All right. Okay.
I mean, when I was a kid, it's like 17-year-old logic, I guess.
His character in Half Baked is funny. Here's the thing. He didn't write that character. Somebody else wrote that.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we got to go looking for what he wrote that's funny. And I got to say, he never hit me that way. I remember after seeing Half Baked, I'm a guy, you know this about me. I go looking for stuff once I discover somebody. I've always been curious about, entertainment. You hear an album. When I was a kid, it would be like I'd hear an album, and then I would look at who the producer is, and I would go look for more stuff by that producer, more stuff by the record label. I was not just feed me whatever. I was not that kind of guy. I had a voracious appetite for these kinds of things. And when Jim Brewer did his first special after Half Baked, I watched that thing and I was like, this is not funny. He's proto Dane Cook. He is Dane Cook before Dane Cook, I think. And don't tell me Dane Cook's good. I mean, yes, there was that early Dane Cook where he talked about like Burger King or whatever, BK Lounge. Yeah, we did talk about that. But then there was Dane Cook in the round at Madison Square Garden, which is truly one of the least funniest things anybody's ever made.
Yeah, I think more the movies was not the thing. I think that's where it fell off. He wasn't a movie guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have Brewer on Wednesday. He's got a lot to say.
Yeah.
And again, Psychic Gasoline in the chat, right? His impression of AC/DC was good. I agree with that. I agree with you, Psychic Gasoline. He just didn't say anything funny while he was doing AC/DC. He just didn't he just sing Hell's Bells and stuff like that? It was just not a joke.
You got too much heart wrapped up in this. You got too much passion wrapped in this because he's a comedian, like a peer. And if you think of it in wrestling terms, like Kevin Nash did the least. Like, I appreciate people that can just show up and make a weird voice and get a paycheck. Like, I mean, who cares? Who cares who wrote it or how it happened? Like, fuck, made me laugh.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that because I do like guys that don't work hard. And Psychic Gasoline did just pop in and say he sang the Hokey Pokey. So he did do a joke. And okay. I'm gonna let Jim Brewer, I'm gonna leave him alone. He did the Goat Boy. People loved that. I can't sit here and pretend like Goat Boy wasn't over at all.
Oh no, we loved it.
Yeah.
You could do it in school, you could do it at church, at grandma's.
Yeah, you young people might look at Goat Boy now and be like, I mean, what's so funny about it? But I gotta tell you, everybody liked Goat Boy in the 90s. There wasn't a motherfucking person who wasn't like, God damn, did you see the Goat Boy guy?
Yeah.
And I'm not bullshitting either.
And also you got to be able to do the sound. You got practice in front of the mirror and in the shower and shit.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just proved Jim Brewer is talented.
You did.
That was not good. That was one of the worst. That was so bad. One more little thing from Brewer that I liked was that he talked about how last March or April, it would have probably been April. Last April, he would go to the coffee shop, him and 6 of his friends, and he said they would stand outside and chat, and they wouldn't be 6 feet apart. They would just be outside chatting and having a coffee. And that people got in accidents trying to take pictures of them to report them to the police.
Oh shit! Damn, dog.
He's
Nazi Germany. He's here in America.
He's lying. That is a lie.
Führer Biden.
Well, this was during Trump, though.
Oh shit! Even worse.
How do you feel about Führer Biden? He really fucking got some people mad this week.
I can't tell. I don't, it's not fair. I think I am very apathetic about it because it takes the teeth out of everything when they're in charge. And I have not been doing my due diligence to even pay attention. Some of the shit seems like, okay. Some shit seems okay. That's all I can say.
I mean, I do find it interesting, and I am sort of excited to see, because me and you have been talking about don't tread on me people for 10 years now. For 10 years, we've been talking about these people. And something that we've always said in that 10 years was that they don't care if their boss treads on them. They just don't want to be, they just don't want to be tread on by the government, which is a thing.
That's true.
Now, do we think that they will quit their jobs? That is where we got to be thinking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The vaccine mandate. I forgot about that part. That is the big news.
100 fucking, if your job has more than 100 people in it, you now are mandated to either get tested once a week or get a vaccine. And all I'm thinking is that people will be like, I'm going to get tested, and they might get tested for 2 weeks in a row before they just give up and get the vaccine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to say because there's a lot of people that are very much against this, and they're getting pretty delusional. And I think you're playing into their fears, which is not a reason to not do anything. But their reaction is going to be interesting here. And Drew Turner, he posted this the other day, which was a good point. But a lot of like truck drivers are saying that they're going to quit,
Yeah.
And like we already have fucked up supply chains, as everybody knows that goes to the store nowadays, that
for sure
we don't make. Yeah. And so, I mean, that even puts a further wrench in the fucking gears in that regard.
I guess
if that causes that kind of a quake.
Are there, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how the trucking industry works. I'd love to get a call from somebody.
We could call it like Brunt or something.
Brunt knows about trucking?
I thought he's a trucker. Wrong. Oh, maybe the wrong one. Wrong
Nate?
One. Yes, sorry.
I don't
no,
think
different
Nate's
guy.
a trucker.
No, different one.
He came up with Fargond, which is very
different
funny. But Vagrant. Yeah.
Yes.
We should ask because I would think, and this is not something I know 100% for sure. Do a lot of trucking companies have more than 100 employees?
Probably not. And they're independents. Like if they get their own truck and shit, I don't know. Yeah. How that all works.
Yeah. I mean, like Walmart. Yeah. Maybe people will quit. I don't think they'll quit. I
mean, they're all babies. Most of them are babies for sure. And they're also not that big and bad. It's frustrating because they get by with their politicians, but they are all just silent little cowards, that don't do shit.
I mean, if they are gonna not be able to build a third level on their deck, I don't think they're gonna want to quit.
Good point.
Like, there's so much stuff,
and
I can't buy new air tools now.
I almost made a pack. I got almost trapped into making I was trying to avoid housework. So I was going to make some passionate Facebook thing today because some hospital down in Southern Ohio said, please don't get hurt. We're getting close and it's happening, here. And it just is so frustrating when you heard all those people saying, we're worried about a dang cough that has a 99% survivability rate. And it's not that, it's a lack of understanding of how badly this is like straining the hospital system and how much that's going to fall apart the more these people start forcing Thanksgiving and Christmas this fucking winter.
And the supply chain, like you brought up the supply chain. I mean, this is wreaking havoc on the supply chain too.
Oh yeah.
Which,
and it's all from mismanagement. It's all just because no decisions can be made unless someone can make a lot of money off of it. And, we don't have any sort of cohesion at all. It's just, we're all just at the whim of this like lumbering, destructive system called the United States government.
Yeah. Psychic Gasoline asks in the chat, what kind of collars are y'all looking for tonight? all of the kinds. We're
sex
very,
collars. I want a sex collar, one
no,
that says my name on it, that says Brett and Diamonds, like Brian got.
no sex collars and no I mean, you could call in and talk about the movie cinematic universe, obviously, if you'd like to. That's been taking up a lot of our lives.
We got some callers if you want to get into them.
You ready to take some calls, Brent?
Yeah, I think we got a good one here.
Let's get them.
All right.
Them. I said them, not him.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, I'm a conservative touring stand-up comedian. My name's Daryl Croft. How you guys doing?
Daryl Croft.
Shut up.
Oh,
how do you find this show?
I'm killing already. I'm already killing. Well, I mean, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian. I found the show. I'm looking for shows all the time. So I wanted to come back to something you guys said before about the vaccine mandate. I had something for that. Do you mind if I do a little something for that?
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
So the vaccine mandate, I'm not a big fan of that because, to be honest with you, I would actually much would prefer a woman date personally because I am not. don't go that way.
Oh my God!
Sorry, my phone alarm went off. My phone alarm just went off. I have a reminder on there to not take my own life. So. But I wanted to. You guys are talking about Brewer. You guys were talking about Jim Brewer before, really a lot earlier on, if you remember that. And I just want to clarify, and I do have to run because I'm going to a gig. I am. I don't know why you guys.
No, you're not.
Going to a gig, but Brewer. No, I am. I have a gig, and but Brewer.
What's the name of the place?
His whole Goat Boy thing. Well, it's not a place so much as the gig is more of an idea. But so the Brewer's Goat Boy thing, he stole that whole bit from me. That's a bit that I did. Well, like I didn't do it as a bit. One night I took like a bunch of cocaine and I freaked out so much. And I was like, and everyone's like, what the fuck is Daryl doing? And that's where he got it from. But anyways, thanks a lot. Big fan of your guys. Whatever the fuck you guys do, whatever your bullshit is that your show is, I'd love. What's up?
Daryl, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Daryl, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow at 9.
Daryl, appreciate you reaching across the aisle, but it's got to be man date, woman dates, they date. It's got to be everybody to fuck with us. But thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right. Daryl,
we got Daryl to go.
Happy to hear from conservative comedians on the internet.
He's so stupid.
Let's see our next call.
The fucking second I heard the voice, I knew exactly who it was.
Like some people in the chat were confused. We could have ran with it.
Somebody said, wait, is this actually happening? And I was like, yeah, it's happening. I love Chris.
Chris is great. Best. He's a genius.
Not even a show. And of course, Shocktober, Chris James,
Volume 3.
CJS. He is the best. Yeah. Shocktober Volume 3. Brian, Chris, Felix. The 3-man band.
Wow.
So
that's a good that's your wrestling stable. 3-man band.
That's the 3M band.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were the best. Yeah. Yes. Big fan. All right. Well, we got on the line right now. Bears. How's it going, Bears? Can you hear us, Bears? Is there a bear over there?
I just realized I was still muted.
Oh, gotcha.
What's up, Bears? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. What the hell was the last caller? Was that like, was that planned or was that just some
Daryl Coates, the drive-by listener? Somebody listened to the show and decided to call in, have a little bit of fun. Naughty boys and little pranksters and trolls and fiends, sometimes get on the call.
It's my troll. It is the troll that I have hitched my wagon to, and he's picking on me, and it makes me feel sad.
That's unfortunate, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? Me and Daryl will be at war for the rest of our lives.
I think we can get him to our side.
We're destined to fight now.
Yeah, we're destined to fight forever. We're like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Or we're gonna try to get him to take a mandate.
Yes, we're gonna send him on a mandate.
Send him out there.
You're right,
make him swing both ways.
Hey, it's Vina in the chat did say this, and it's true. He's a loser in his mom's basement. Is what he is. This
clocked
guy.
him.
We got him. A loser in his mom's basement. And
neck beard alert.
I heard this from a genius named JJ McCartney, who wears very nice shirts. But okay. Yeah. What's up, Bear? How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going fantastic. Hey, about Jim Brewer, I actually have my own really funny Jim Brewer story. I was in a gas station. I was just like picking up food and drinks, and this guy who was like 45 like nudged me, and he's just like, "Hey, do you know who that guy at the like cashier is?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "It's Jim Brewer," and I'm like, "Who the hell is Jim Brewer?" And he was like, "He's from Half Baked. He did the Half Baked thing. He did the Goat Boy. You know the Goat Boy?" And I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never seen Half Baked." And this guy like starts yelling about Half Baked at me because like he's just amazed that somebody who looks like me has never seen it in my life. And the guy who was at the cash register turned around and looked at us, and I never found out if it was actually him.
Oh, Brewer was there. Well, here's something. Let me just say this. Half Baked is good. I will give you Half Baked is very good.
Yep.
And
Mary Jane.
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually funny. And Jim Brewer is very funny in it. Now, I would not recommend watching one of his comedy specials. That's all. That's okay. All I'm saying.
So watch the one movie and nothing else.
Yes. Just Half Baked. Is he in anything else, Brett? I'm gonna have to get his IMDb up. So how's it going,
maybe in
Bear?
some Saturday Night Live movies?
Minions? Did you say Minions?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you just said I think he's in Minions.
I would know that. I've watched lots of Minions. Brian actually very early on Minions. He was the first person to ever break Minions because he watched Despicable Me in theaters and came to our house. We were all like drank a bottle of whiskey, and he was like, "That movie is kind of fucking funny, man."
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say this to Brett. Oh, okay. I got a few Brewer things here that you might have heard of. Let's okay. Hold on. I got one for sure.
Titan AE.
That's the one. That's the one.
Nerds.
Yeah.
For all the computer geeks.
Never even heard of it.
He was in the movie Dick too.
Ooh, Dick's good. Yep, that's an under the radar hit. Also, showed up in Chappelle's show.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen now is Daryl's going to cut you out saying Dick's good and play it on his podcast. So
I don't mind. Dick seems great. People go wild for it.
So how's it going, Bear? How's the rolled ice cream coffee bagel shop going?
Oh, it's going I mean, I'm assuming it's still going good. I actually called in with my final update on it. I was going to call in this last Sunday, but you guys weren't doing the show because it was Labor Day.
Wrestling, actually. It wasn't it didn't have anything to do with Labor Day. We were at my house watching really one of the best professional wrestling shows in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, it was bell to bell action.
Bell to bell, the best.
You know, whatever excuse you need. I mean, any excuse to take off work is an excuse to take off work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep.
They're all valid.
So what happened? Why you quit?
I actually took off work. I walked in there one morning, and it was really funny because I was actually listening to like older episodes of the podcast on the way to work because I just, you guys are the only podcast I'm really into, and sometimes I'm just on the mood for music. So I was listening to a really old episode of Street Fight, and Brett had said something about the fact that you can just walk out of jobs and interviews and stuff, and there's nothing telling you have to stay there. And I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. I hope that's not a forewarning of anything. I hope that's just a funny thing to inspire me later. But then I walked in, I started opening up the shop and stuff, and the owner dropped by, and he was talking to me, and he randomly mentioned that he was going to remove our tip income, all of our credit card tip income, because he thought that a couple of the employees weren't doing enough work.
What? So was he keeping it for the restaurant or what?
So he never really elaborated on that part. He just said that he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut all credit card tips. I'm mad because a couple of the employees." He said he didn't say the employees by name, but I knew who they were. He said a couple of the employees aren't taking down the names for everybody's ice cream order, and that's not he said that's unacceptable. We can't be doing that.
So basically, he removed
which is ridiculous and stupid.
The option. So he removed the option of credit card tips from the POS system.
I'm thinking that's what happened. I don't know. I didn't stay long enough to find out. He started saying that he was going to do that morning, and he went on that rant. He started telling me all that. Yeah, he started telling me all that, and he started going on this rant before he actually did anything.
That's amazing.
Hey, leave.
No, I applaud it. No, you felt it. You felt it setting in. You're right. It does not matter. It does not matter what it was. You were at a place that was pushed to the limit. If the pay got any fucking worse, it's not worth doing the job. So it doesn't matter how they phrase it, what they're about to say. You do not need to sit through the new presentation of how you're about to be fucked over. You can just grab your shit and walk out the door. Throw the uniform make them mail your W-2 to you. You don't have to go back for shit.
Did he say anything to you as you were leaving?
Well, here's the exact story of what happened. I cut him off mid-speech. I said, "Hold on, you're gonna take away all the card tips for everybody?" And he said, "Yeah, because it's a team learning experience." He started launching into another rant. I cut him off again, and I was like, "That's half my income, right? That's half of what I make in a day, half most days." And he's just like, "It doesn't matter." And I said, "All right, yeah, that's a real bad sign." And then I took my hat off and I just tossed it on the counter, and I put on my hoodie and I took off my t-shirt for the company out from under it and tossed that on the counter too. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm leaving." Yes! I'm not gonna deal with it.
I'm not here for this.
Yeah, no, I'm here for tips, motherfucker.
I'm in no position to change your mind either. You're decreeing this at me, and I'm just gonna step to the side and not deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that much of a cut to my pay. I got bills to pay. I got stuff to take care of. I can't be living off that.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, if any person in this world had a job where they said, "I'm taking away half of your pay," anybody would leave. Anybody. Yeah. There's nobody that wouldn't leave. And that's that's a crazy fucking thing to come at you with. And then when you say it's half my pay, if he says it doesn't matter, I mean, you did the right thing. That is a walkout fucking offense. A walkout. And plus, this guy's business ain't gonna be open. For people that don't know or haven't heard Bear call before, the guy he's working for is as dumb as they come. He just sounds like a guy that has money and is able to just start a business, and it's a rolled ice cream place and a gas station. Now, what state were you in? Georgia. Right?
Georgia, but he has a franchise location in Arkansas, and he's opening up 2 in Florida soon.
Right. These are not. Now, I've been to Georgia, okay, a few times,
Yeah.
I've been to Florida.
I love that song too.
And I don't think I've ever been to Arkansas, but I'm going to say this. These are not eating at the gas station places.
Yes, Arkansas is. They usually does. They just have a fryer behind the fucking register, and you can get the best goddamn fish sandwiches ever.
Are you for real? Are you serious?
That's what I ate when I drove through there.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
well,
I'm gonna cut you off with a Georgia's not a gas station food place either, because like I get like 80% of my diet from gas stations. Like maybe it's just like county, but like everywhere you go, you drop in, you get some like bomb ass fried chicken, and you leave. Like that's what you do at gas stations.
No, I'm not saying like there are parts of the country that are eat at the gas station parts of the country. The Northeast is crazy about eating at the gas station. They love it. They can't get a damn enough of it.
The difference here, though, is that they're attached to brands like Sheetz and Royal Farms and Wawa. But in the South, it's just somebody's that's real good at cooking gets to run the restaurant at a gas station. It's not like a franchise thing. That's been my experience.
Okay. Then I'll admit I'm wrong. Yeah. Ohio, I'll say this. Ohio is not an eat at the gas station place. So maybe I was just generalizing.
That's also true. I agree. Yeah. Ohio is not an eat at the gas station place. It's not, I mean, they're trying to make it happen, but nobody eats at the gas station here.
Yeah, you just don't do it here. Nobody does it here. Because
7-Eleven isn't a thing unless they have gas as well.
Yep. We've always talked about this on Street Fight, especially like when I went to Philly and the first time I was going to get Wawa, I was a little fucking nervous about it because I was like, a sub at a gas station? I don't know about
how
that
can this
shit,
be
man.
anything? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I should fuck with this. Or like Royal Farms chicken. It's like, I don't know, man. That's chicken at a gas station. I'm scared, you know. But is this the same as eating one of those hot dogs that's a hamburger? You ever seen those?
No. What are you talking about?
You ever seen the cheeseburger hot dog?
Like a flat hot, like a piece of bologna?
No. It's a hot dog shaped sausage, and it's a cheeseburger though, instead of being a hot dog.
Yeah,
it's a cheese. It's really
a rollable cheeseburger.
It's really, I gotta say, it's a really brilliant thing. It's like one of the great inventions of our time. It's just disgusting, and I will not eat it. I've told you about the guy I worked with at the cable company, right? Like the guy I was training who made me stop like 3 times a day so he could eat 2 hot dogs.
Smart.
At Speedway.
Fuel up. Fast fuel up.
Nobody eats at Speedway. That's not, you should never eat at Speedway. Don't. But again, my mind is open to all this stuff now. But I thought that in Georgia, you got gas at the gas station, you got peaches at the gas station,
well,
you get fireworks at the gas station.
At a stand by the gas station, you can get frog jam.
Yeah. You can get.
Yeah, you don't get peaches from the gas station itself. That's suspicious.
Okay. Yeah. That is just, those are the. I thought Georgia was not a gas station eating place, so maybe this guy's business will be successful. I will say that Florida, I've spent time there, not a gas station eating place. They don't eat at gas stations in Florida at all. So let's just hope this guy's very unsuccessful and not get tied up on the fact that I thought people didn't eat at gas stations in Georgia.
Well, let me tell you what else happened right after I walked out, right? This is the funniest shit on the planet. I had like, right before coming to work, I had just gotten paid. So I bought this like super fancy apple juice stuff. Like it was like really expensive. It was like $10 for this like small jug of apple juice. Way too overpriced.
Marinelli's?
But it was,
Martinelli's or whatever?
I think so. I think it's that fancy one. It was like an apple shaped container too.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
you pay more for that though. Hey, nobody's making fun of you over here, man. I'll pay $6 for a cool looking container every day of the week.
It's so true. I do that all the time. But I had left it in the back in the fridge because I was just gonna drink it over my shift because I was there until like 9 p.m. that night and it was like 11 a.m. I was there for a while. But I had walked out on them, but I had forgotten it in there. And I got out to my car, I called my partner, and I was talking to them, and I realized I was like, oh, I left my apple juice in there. Hold on, I'll call you back. And I had to walk back in, and he was like ranting and raving about how like he didn't know who he was gonna get up there, and he was like yelling at God or himself or something. I don't know what powers he was appealing to.
Oh, that's the
like,
best.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm screwed over. I'm gonna have to stay here all day. I can't get this coffee machine fixed now. And he looks at me, I guess, because he thought that like he caught my bluff and that I was gonna come back. And I looked at him. I said, I forgot my apple juice, and I walked straight in the back, grabbed it, and walked straight back out.
Wow! Thank you so much.
And then
you taught me something.
And then
tonight,
I got another call like right after that from the other manager, and he's like, "Hey, did something happen? Doug's asking me to come in." And I was like, oh, yeah, I quit. He said, why? And I told him, I'm like, oh, he's trying to cut half our pay. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, he's taking away car tips. He's like, okay, I'm going to call him back and tell him that I'm probably going to quit too if he goes through with that. And from my understanding, enough people threatened that he actually changed his mind. Like, I guess he realized that wasn't a sustainable move.
Well, that's great. And I love the advice. Always leave something behind, leave a coat behind, maybe leave your favorite mask just like on a chair. So that way you can go back in when they're having like a full meltdown and realizing that there's no staff to work for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I do like that. I like that. I always wanted to go back to the cable company in the morning. I always wanted to go back to the cable company like 2 days later in the morning, really bad, just to be like, look how fucked everything is. Yeah. But you're not allowed.
Scrambling.
You're not allowed to just walk in. So
yeah. Like, am I allowed to look at the mess I made, please? Like, we should have the right as a worker to view the mess we made. I think that should be part of labor contracts, is that you get to be a ghost employee for like 2 weeks and just watch how fucked everybody is without you there.
I'm gonna ask Brett and Bear this question, and maybe even the chat. Do you guys ever think at all about places you used to work? Like, I have noticed that I quit Insight, the cable company, in 2009. I have not worked for them since 2009. They have gone through 2 sales. Okay. They've been sold twice since I quit. Every single fucking time a Spectrum cable truck drives by me, I look in it to see if I know the person driving it. And I just wonder, do you guys ever like, I don't know, like think about like the old places you worked and like want to go by and see what is going on there now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would be great, right, Brett?
I think of old places, but I don't know if I would want to go see. I just imagine they're not the same.
True. But I mean, wouldn't you? I think I know why I do it to the Spectrum trucks. If you guys want to humor me for a second, it's because I'm a podcaster now for a living. Like, I make my living as a podcaster and I get to travel around the country, like speaking to audiences. And I have this like pretty cool job. And I really, truly think that the real reason that I wish I knew the people in a truck is so that they'd stop and they would want to talk to me and think I was like a loser now. But then I get to tell them I'm like not a loser now.
No, wow. You have so many better uses of brain power than that thought.
But I'm like that with my dad too. I'm like that with everybody in the whole fucking world.
You're just going to look at them a certain way. Do you think you're just going to make eye contact and they're going to be like, hey, you seem like a fucking loser. And you're like, actually, I used to do your job, loser. And now I'm a big time podcaster.
Well, no. Okay. So like I was walking yesterday and I was walking by a Shell station that I go to a lot to get a Gatorade. And there was a truck there and there was a guy filling up the truck. And I was like, is that a guy I used to? And then I got like kind of close to him and it didn't end up being a guy I worked with. So I just kind of did a 90-degree turn to get away from him.
Here's what you need to do. Here's the old guy solution to that. You want a little bit of contact. You want to chop it up with somebody. You just go up and say, hey, does Raj Nelson still work there at Insight? And they're like, what? And they're like, Raj Nelson, is he still higher up? And they're like, no, I have no idea who that is. I'm like, well, when I worked there, and then you can just say whatever you want. You can take up 10 minutes of their time and tell them all about it when you did it. And they just have to be subjected to it because they know that one day they'll get to do it to somebody else, you know?
True. I quit roofing before 9/11. And I still look in every Finney industrial roofing truck when they go by to see if it's the guy named Steve that I told you about that sent me a message to tell me how I can improve Street Fight.
Yeah.
Like years ago, I just want to see him and be like, I didn't even need your fucking advice.
Yeah, there's an old cat I used to work with that I've been desperately trying to find, but he was just like such a like, I don't give a fuck about these smartphones guy, and actually stuck with it. And I cannot hunt him down. And I've been wanting to hang out with him forever because the dude that gave me sawing my dick off, the guy that I got that from.
Oh man, and you're never gonna find that guy.
I'm gonna try. I should reach out to some people. There's actually some folks I think I might be able to. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list now, on my solo lifestyle to-do list.
Fucking find him and tell him to call into the show. And then here's the thing. Here's the move. You'll give him one or a piece of the profit for your sawing my dick off t-shirts,
right? And
then boom, he'll be around forever, right? Although cool, I don't think we would ever sell your saw my dick off t-shirts. Like, I mean, we
people
would,
like it, yeah.
If people wanted them, I just can't imagine wearing a shirt that says you're sawing my dick off on it.
But it's relevant, and it's how I feel most of the days.
True. Bear, do you do this? Do you ever want to like find the old people you work with and like sort of even kind of brag that you don't work with them anymore?
See, anybody from my old jobs that's still worth keeping in contact with, I still keep in contact with because I've always been one of those like your network is everything type guys. So, I want like good people around me, but I've always wanted to like go back to the businesses and check it out because I've had so many like just weird and wild work experiences now that like I gotta make sure that things aren't still working the same way, or if they are, like figure out what to do about them. Because like I've worked so many just weird places too. Here's a little teaser for my next few call-ins. I used to work at a Trump-themed coffee shop.
Oh man, you've had the best jobs in the world, Bear.
You're a go-getter.
I know.
You'll do like, fucking anything.
He's just like, what's the crummiest type of place that I could end up working at? And I'll do it. You're like an irony worker. You're like how like
irony workers union.
Yeah, you're like how like I like to like subject myself to bad stuff in an ironic way. Like how me and Brett are watching those movies, cinematic universe movies. Even though we hate every single one of them, we trapped ourselves into watching them.
Yeah,
you're like that, but for work.
I love them now because I've had to paint a narrative in my life and how it's affected it and what I've learned from this experience because I cannot handle it otherwise.
Yeah.
You're not even wrong. It's kind of like a, how bad can it get thing. I got to spell it now. I got to spell the story behind working there. But I had just like quit my job, the job before that one. And I had dyed my hair like a very deep blue. And my mom and dad kept making the comments out like, you're not going to find any work with dyed hair like that, which I thought was stupid. And then finally I made like a decree to them. I was like, I'll have a job by the end of the week. And they're like, no, you won't. And I was like, yes, I will. And I applied there, and they liked my resume, and I was like, okay, sure, you know, they're not gonna actually hire me, but I'll go in for the interview. And I'm not gonna say what the pay rate exactly was, but it was way too much to be working at a coffee shop like that. You know, way too much for a conservative to pay someone who looked like me. And I went in like jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie. Like, I didn't take it seriously at all, but they really liked me, and they were like, all right, you're hired. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I was very open about my politics. I was very open about, like, the fact that, like, I didn't have that great of a work ethic. Like, I was like, whatever, who cares? I'm not going to take this seriously. I just didn't say I went to an interview, but they hired me anyway.
They love
I was like,
that.
well, I mean,
I can
explain that. Yeah.
I was going to say they want to present you as someone that they converted.
Yes. They either that or they want to argue with you. They want to be like, oh, you know, hey, they say Trump people are intolerant, but I hired some hippie fucking leftist to work at my place. He even listens to a podcast that tells him not to work hard.
And the regulars there, they'd always cut up with me too. But anytime politics came up, and I'd be like, yeah, I mean, like, we really do need to burn down some more buildings. They'd be like, and they just like swap subjects. I mean, they just weren't for it there.
Yeah. Psychic Gasoline called you a diversity hire, and that's exactly what it is, because they're not going to hire any people of color.
I mean, you know, they went to every barbecue and were just like, I'll hire non-binaries if they work. I don't care. You know, I don't care if they got purple hair. Like, they're just showing off.
I love it. I love
you know, that's entirely what it was.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, oh God, now I wish they had company picnics and stuff, because I'm sure there would be some of the greatest stories ever. Like, where would a Trump coffee shop go on a company picnic? Because, you know, it's not going to be the amusement park.
You're gonna love it.
That's too expensive.
Oh, really?
You're gonna love the stories I got coming in. I got a stockpile. I can't give them all away now, but let me just tell you, there was company drama, there was company picnics, there was all kinds of stuff that happened there. I mean, it was an interesting 6 months of my life.
This is great. You left it with a cliffhanger.
Hell yeah, Bear. Thanks for calling. You're one of my faves, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Have a good
I'll
night.
Guys soon. I'll drop by more.
Is there a social media if people want to follow you somewhere on social media? Do you care at all?
Oh, yeah, actually. At Bitta on Instagram. It's my Twitch handle too.
Oh, you're not on Twitter?
It's for old people.
I don't have Twitter, just Instagram and Twitch. I dropped off Twitter after an incident occurred.
Okay. What was your name again? I'll get you on my Instagram. I check it once every 3 months.
It was Bitta Senna. I'll drop in the chat in a little bit and let everybody know who I am.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you.
Peace and Millie's.
Oh no, I just opened my I actually just opened my Instagram, and Mancow posted a picture of Biden in front of a bunch of kids with Trump shirts on.
Dude, people send me that stuff all the time through the Street Fight account. You should definitely follow Mancow on Instagram. There's so much good content on there. He does it all day long. He is addicted to social media, like any teenage girl that he complains about.
His show, dude. Oh God, I can't wait to do the Shocktober episode, because he's out there, man. He is way.
Oh, I know. He's off he's really going for it. He's like, he's digging his heels in to the extreme. Yeah, he is. He's so far out there. I hope he does run for governor. I think is really my dream. He runs for governor of Illinois. Yeah, he's trying to hint at it. We'll see. Yeah. All right, let's see who we got here. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight? Oh, sorry. Don't apologize yet. You haven't done anything bad. Oh, you got to swallow. Well, that's better than spitting. It's more romantic.
Cuban sandwich chips. They're so good.
Cuban sandwich chips?
Yeah.
What did you
Aldi,
say?
man.
They have Cuban sandwich
Yeah,
chips.
that's
That's
exactly it.
too much.
Too
No, they're
much.
so
Clancy's
good.
did
They're
that?
basically like,
Clancy's do that?
yeah, totally. It's
Clancy.
kettle chips with, I mean, they're basically like ham, mustard, and pickle. They're awesome.
My heavens, Clancy gets fancy. I didn't know that.
Clancy's
that sounds
going
like
in now.
a good chip. Throw some ham dust on that
Oh,
chip.
you know who has the better one though? Is actually Kroger. They also have a really good Reuben sandwich kettle chip.
Hachi.
I mean, this is what we're going to be eating in the future instead of the real thing. So I would just be gobbling up the real thing over the chips right now.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're vegetarian too.
Oh shit! Well, now I'm back.
Oh,
in.
now they're not too much. You know what annoys me? Can I say this real quick?
I got imitation bacon bits, and they have changed my whole egg life. Sorry, go ahead.
I got to tell you the new chips that now I'm annoyed by. I got annoyed by chips recently.
I got some too. I got one.
I went to the El Kroger, and I was walking down the chip aisle, right? And Lay's now has Cool Ranch Dorito chips, potato chips, Funyuns, potato chips. Now, I'm not sure what other brands they did, but it's like that we already have those. Now,
some people
really
are
fucking up.
Yeah, some people are only comfortable with a chip format. It's all about formats of flavor.
No,
it's
but you don't.
The future. Formats of flavor is the future.
That's true. I mean, brand flavor.
Brand flavor is applied to a different formats. Everybody can have their own digestible format to get the flavors they want from their favorite friends online, their brands.
And that's why I think they should make Cool Ranch Oreos.
Oh shit. And the inside, wait, on the inside with chocolate, or the whole thing tastes like it?
I say, here's what I say. Here's what I think.
I think I know what you're gonna say. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Corn cookies.
Yes.
With a Cool Ranch cream on the inside.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think
bonkers. Let's get bonkers. Let's not just sprinkle dust. Let's go nuts.
Yeah, savory Oreos.
Savory snack sandwich cookie.
Yes. Please make that. So
Hydrox should sneak in with like a with some sort of like a chili dill flavor.
Yes. Hydrox. I mean, but you know what would happen? Really, the same thing that happened to him before. They would do it, and then Oreo would come in and fucking do it, and then people would totally forget about Hydrox and think it's the generic brand.
Game over. Oh my god! Just imagine like laying in like a neutral colored unitard and dipping a corn cookie filled with Cool Ranch into some salsa and just kicking back and relaxing.
So what's going on tonight?
So I think I was so distracted by the chips I didn't introduce myself. So on Facebook and on the group, I'm Daniil Botko. I think my most recent fame in the group was I posted the Zaxby's hack, which I refer to as Haxby's, where if you just delete your account, you can get their free sandwich combo deal like literally every day. And about a month and a half ago, I was staying with my partner in Richmond, and her landlord decided to take out the sink and like just didn't put it back for a week. So we literally just ate Zaxby's every day.
Okay,
didn't pay
that's smart. Just by signing up with new emails.
Yeah. So like it's like a little bit convoluted, so you can't actually do it through the app, but the app's like if you just Google like how to delete Zaxby's app, there's like a third-party service they use, and if you log on with your credentials onto their third-party service, you can delete it, and they don't like keep a record of like credit card numbers for like unique users, so you don't even. I think you have to change the email. That's the only thing, but I mean it's really easy to just make a new email. But yeah, if you can make a new email every day, you get a free chicken chicken combo every day.
Yeah, that's one. I never got to get Zaxby's.
We got it.
I didn't. No, I mean I didn't get the real thing. I mean I denied myself
just
a sweet flavor of death. Yeah,
I had Zaxby's, but you sat in there with me and you ate a bunch of sides.
Is that where we
And
got
then-
saw someone get hit by a car?
No, that
No,
was
that was
Bojangles.
Bojangles. Okay,
Mr.
different one.
Bojangles. No,
Oh yeah,
I-
Zaxby's was with. Yeah, I remember that.
I gotta say, I am too lazy to set up a new email address. And you know what?
Oof.
I
You're
have
not. You gotta be dedicated, man. You're too comfy. You just got to do good, which is fine.
Because I don't do that with Sirius XM. People are always telling me like you can get free Sirius XM like all the time. You just need a new email address. And I'm like, that sounds great. But instead I just pay the $16 a month because I don't want to sign up for a new email address every 2 weeks.
I remember Hulu used to be like that, like maybe 10 years ago. It was like free. But I think for a while there, like when they started charging, you could do the same thing where you just change your email and get, every 14, I think it was 14 days, not every month. But
You can get big money from it.
doing that. But actually,
Like sites like Swagbucks and other ones, like if you're willing to do it, you can get $10 to $15 to keep re-signing up for Netflix and Hulu over and over again.
Swagbucks?
oh, totally.
Yeah, and
Before
other
it was
Honey, any of the
canceled.
points programs, E-Points or whatever was that one? I don't remember what that one was called. Yeah.
No, we need an app that just
Before it was canceled, there was like a. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
we need an app that just like every 2 weeks sets you up with a new email address and sends the password to you.
Okay.
Well, if we
Now,
know
how do
any
you like
Croft
that?
people in the Street Fight community, that's an app to make.
We just need to sign up to have $10 to $15 get delivered into our account every 2 weeks instead of being taken out.
Yes.
That would help my situation better.
Yeah.
Somebody else could do the
Absolutely.
work and sign up for the.
I'm gonna go ahead and get.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Well, I was
you're
gonna
the
say,
caller. You're the
I'm gonna
guest
go ahead and
here.
Get to the reason why. Thank you. Very hospitable. So the reason why I called today was because I actually just the forms are not submitted yet, but I just let everyone who needs to know that I'm dropping out of grad school.
Oh,
Congratulations.
no. What?
Yeah, it's been kind of.
Is it a
think-
negative or?
You
No, I mean, it was a negative staying in, but I'm feeling much better now. So I'm actually, I won't say where, but I'm in a speech program on the East Coast. And, there was really nothing wrong with the program. It was just, I really felt like, I don't know, just like the amount of hours that they're expecting us to work, because I started working at a hospital recently. And it ended up being like 50 plus hours. And I was just like, I had to be on like 100% the whole time. And I don't know, I just kind of realized it's not something that I liked. And I feel like I was just always pressured into pursuing higher education. And I realized damn, my partner who's a server makes more money per hour than I would as a speech therapist. And I don't know. I felt like I've been stuck in the program because it felt like a sunk cost, I'm like, oh, I've already taken out these loans. I might as well just follow through with it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to be happy doing this.
You were living somebody else's life. You heard that this was a good idea for somebody to do, and other people maybe are willing to tough it out because they care about it or because it means a lot. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna do it. It's my ex, her graduating class of artists and graphic designers and stuff, most of them are real estate people or work at a bank now. There isn't a lot of people that end up doing, what their job, what they expected to be doing.
Well, and also tenure is really, really hard to get now too. So if you were going to teach, I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't get there or that you like don't have the skill. I'm just saying
You just have to
that,
be able to,
like,
you have to love it. You have to be able to put up with the shit. You have to be like, I don't care that it sucks and I'm doing this. But if you're like, this sucks too much to be doing it, like definitely walk away. That's how I definitely agree with that. You can find something else that like
it's one of
you
those
are
things where
okay
I've
with
been,
how
like,
sucky it
I've been
is.
like consulting with like, I've been like consulting with like family and friends and like, you know, in the run up to this decision, because I've been feeling like, you know, just absolutely dreading like going to work like every single day for like probably the past year. And I just came to the conclusion like this weekend, I was just like, oh, like, yeah, this is not good. Like I'd rather do something where I don't have to take my work home. So I have experience doing like agriculture work. My parents live in New Zealand, so I've actually I've lived with them for a while and was working as a vine pruner over there in vineyards. And honestly, I loved that work and I would have kept doing it if I could have stayed longer. But and actually, yeah.
Why not go back?
If you want like a quick out, once the visas, well, they're still closed, which I'm glad they are. As much as I miss my parents, I haven't seen them in like 2 years. And I'm only like 25, but yeah, once they reopen, New Zealand has, I think it's like a nominal fee to apply. It's like maybe 14 or 15 bucks. But they have a working holiday program where you get to work any kind of job, like full-time, part-time, whatever, as long as it's not permanent, like beyond the 1 year you're allowed to work. Yeah, you can travel. You basically have no restrictions on work. And a lot of the people that I worked with in the vineyards were, it was like half and half. Like half were people from like the Americas. Like we had like a bunch of Argentinians and Chileans, and then also like a few French and like Lithuanians, I remember. But it's like, yeah, you just like rent a camper van, work for like 4 or 5 weeks, and then you get to have, because the season's pretty short, but they'll call you back the next time, like some maintenance needs to be done. And then you spend 4 or 5 weeks just like driving around in a camper van. And you actually make pretty good money. I think I was making, if you're fast, because New Zealand's nice, they don't have like a per piece rate, or they do, but you always get paid at least the minimum wage, so not just solely on per piece. So if you're a little slow, you still get like a decent wage. But if you're faster, you can make even more. And I remember I was pulling in like, you know, like as like a college student, it was a lot for me, but I was pulling in like 17 or 18 US an hour. It was pretty sick. And actually I got hurt on the site once, and I was so scared just because of like my reaction as an American to like, oh, healthcare system, like I'm going to like have a huge bill. Or like there was an ambulance that took me to the hospital. Like I saw like 2 or 3 doctors at the hospital and then like filled a prescription. And I think I paid like a nominal $5 fee for all of that.
Yeah.
And so that's like a big reason why I'm like, oh damn, I think I'm gonna head out there once the borders reopen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't see any reason not to. That's where I would be. That sounds like home to me. Yeah, that sounds really nice. And sounds like a good dirtbag exchange program of people that would just live in a van and work and don't complain.
Yeah, and just people there are like way more chill. Like my dad, he's Russian, but spent the past like 20 or so years in the US. So I think it was pretty easy for him to make the move because he was like, oh, like I don't even like America that much. Like, why not?
Yeah, it's a fucking pain. It's the biggest problem in my life is that I wake up in America.
He noted. Yeah, absolutely. But like he noted, like the most like striking thing to him was like it's just way more chill. Like it's a less. He described it as like a way less litigious society. Like you're not going to get sued for making like one mistake, which I don't know. I've never been sued. I don't think I ever would. But people are just way more like, just like, oh yeah, shit happens. Like it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like to me, just I kind of imagine my mind getting hurt on the job and people being like, "Oi, mate, that's really rough. Take a break." You know, like instead of being like, "Oh, you're fucked. Oh, somebody call his wife. She's gonna be pissed."
I gotta say, as soon as you said camper van, I started looking at camper vans, and now I want a camper van now. That sounds nice.
Something that a lot
other
of people
countries
did
have it all figured
as
out.
well was like they would, if they were there for more than like a month or two, they would like just like straight up like buy a car or like buy a van instead of rent it, and then you can just resell it at basically the same price you bought it, and maybe even make a profit if you're there during an off season and leaving during an on season for tourists. So like, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's also beautiful. I gotta mention, like, yeah, like I realized like, oh yeah, I was so much happier working like 50 hours a week, like in like the most beautiful valley, like from sunrise to sunset. Like, even though I was doing literal manual labor, like I enjoyed it so much more than I'm enjoying the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it
Makes
sounds
sense.
great. Working outside kicks ass. I think that's why I spend so much time outside now. Being outside for work kicks ass so much. People say it stinks. And I mean, when the weather's bad, I guess your day can kind of suck, but man, it makes it all worth it when the weather's good though. Like those days are incredible.
And the best part is once you get good enough and like fast enough and like confident enough with I was there during not the picking season, but we were like pruning and tying the vines. Once you get good enough and fast enough, you can just like chain smoke while you're working. It's awesome.
Yeah. It sounds great. It sounds great. I think you should go. And congratulations on knowing when to pull the plug, because I would be very bad at figuring that out.
Oh, I was bad at figuring it out too. Like I was like on the phone with my mom, like in frantics, like the first semester of my grad school experience. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know, like if this is me, but like I said, the sunk cost just kept me pushing, but finally I came to my senses. Anyways, I'm going to let another caller on, but it was nice chatting with you. Oh, also, the last time I called in was like maybe 3 years ago. I don't know if y'all remember, but I called in actually while I was in undergrad, and I was doing a research project in Barbados. And I remember I told Brian about monkeys in my backyard, and he thought that was sick.
Yeah, I would love that. Although, you know, they do eat people. So
no.
Yeah, chimps.
Yeah.
Not monkeys, chimps. They will eat your balls. I've heard the stories. Okay.
All
right.
You say so.
Just letting you know. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
Anyways, y'all have a good night. Thanks.
Peace.
Bye. Yeah. And if you're listening and you're 25, you have your whole fucking life ahead of you. It's not over. You don't have to have anything together. And you have so much time. Do not worry about I'm supposed to be in a miserable job by now. I'm supposed to be like hating my life and just, you know, taking a good paycheck to live in hell. Get out of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually like a really funny thing is like I probably worked at the cable company for I know for at least a year when I knew I was getting out, which is like a year is a long time to deal with some bullshit.
Big amount of time. Big time.
Yeah, it was stupid.
You're dragging feet.
Just fucking left.
Yeah. I mean, you got to rush this stuff. I mean, these transitional, it's a transition. I mean, it's the same way with, I've talked to other people about it, but even with my separation, like the thing you got to do is speed it up. Like there's no point of like wallowing in it. It doesn't help. It doesn't. The same way if you like think about crisis before it happens, it's not going to help you if a crisis actually happens. There's no reason to sit around and kind of wallow about how sad it is that like you're going to not have this job, you're not going to have this relationship, you're not doing this thing anymore. Just fucking get to the next thing, because that's going to be way more rewarding.
Yeah, you got to go with it. It seems like that's the quickest way. It is scary to quit your job or to drop out of like grad school.
Yeah,
like those two things are kind of like, nope, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But we also do convince ourselves at like 17 or 18 that once we graduate, we're supposed to be miserable.
Yeah, and then we also think that we hold everybody to standards that we can't meet, that nobody else is meeting. It's just like everybody should be achieving at this level. Everybody should be accomplishing these things, and it's like I don't know anybody that's doing that. What are you talking about?
Nope. That same here, man. Same here.
All right, next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who we talking to tonight?
What's up, guys? This is Mason in Chicago.
What's up, Mason? Mason?
Hello?
Is it
yeah,
Mason?
Like the jar.
What's up, Mason?
Yeah.
And how's it going tonight?
It's going well, actually. I placed an order for some Chinese food right when I got in the queue, and it appears to be arriving like just now.
Nice. Well, you're going to have Chinese food when you hang up the phone. You can just start eating it immediately. It is.
That's true.
I mean,
I'm really looking forward to it.
You're in Chicago, so it's 9:30. A little late, but I'm going to let it slide because I eat at 9:30 all the time.
9's an okay dinner time. I actually had somebody this week that
time. I also.
That's just the lifestyle for some of us.
It is a lifestyle, yeah. And I get up pretty late on the weekends even. So this is basically I think like the second full meal I've had today, really, like all things considered. I went to the movies earlier. I saw that movie, The Card Counter. It was really, really good. That got on your guys' radar, but it's about this he's a Oscar Isaac and Tiffany Haddish are in it. And Oscar Isaac's he's like he was a soldier, and he was at Abu Ghraib and like tortured a bunch of guys, and like has a lot of guilt about it. He's just like trying to spend time in prison and like dealing with all this guilt. And just goes to casinos and kind of cards and doesn't feel anything. But Paul Schrader's the guy that did like First Reformed, and he wrote Taxi Driver. So you're like getting a quality kind of theatrical experience out of it. And then I just kind of had a little beer after the movie. Really quite good. Yep, that's me. I'm sorry.
No, it sounds great. Sounds complex and interesting, and yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, the movie Facebook group actually. Just kind of posting whenever I get a chance to. Have you guys seen *Malignant*? That's one that's trying to finish my food quick enough that I can try to catch that at the local Regal cinema. The James Wan movie, the horror movie.
I don't watch anything new. It's got to be like.
Oh, really?
I only watch things that I care about, like tell me to watch, so that way I can talk to them about it. But like, as far as keeping up with the new stuff, like that's sheeple behavior.
Jesus. *Malignant's on HBO Max. I did pass by it and was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen the name.
Yeah. I don't
no spoilers. Dead Data says it's sick.
Well, just while I have you guys on the phone, actually, I got something of a landlord story. I'll try to make it quick because I've been sharing the story a lot, but I had to do a last minute move kind of, and it was teeing up to be a pretty easy move just because my landlord called me and said, "Hey, I'll move you to another building that I own, and I'll just right down the street from where I live, basically." I live in Logan Square. Okay. I don't know if you guys are too familiar with the geography of Chicago and the neighborhoods, but basically he has this other building straight down the street, and he offered to like pay for movers and stuff because we got furniture, we got some big ticket items, and I'm moving from the first floor in my old building up to my second floor, or a second floor where I currently am. And excuse me. And in the middle of, so I was like getting myself in, all packed up and ready to move. And the night before the move, I give him a call. I'm like, "Hey, you offered to pay for movers and stuff. So what time should I be expecting them tomorrow?" And he said, "Oh, Well, I thought you said you didn't want the movers to come. And so basically,
what?
I had to move. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, so he heard an ism.
happened.
He was thinking, I'm going to be a really good fucking guy. I'm going to dislocate this person, and then I'm going to pay to get it moved over. But then they're going to be so grateful that I'm looking out for them that they're just going to move themselves. And that's what I heard.
Right.
What a piece of shit.
And I ended up playing myself because, I ended up moving my stuff. So I was moving with, I moved from a building in a place with two other guys. One of them was moving across country. A good friend of mine who I was living with during most of COVID, he moved across country to Seattle for a job. But basically I had to move all of my stuff and pack up all of his stuff. And then, my other roommate, he was on top and got his stuff all packed over and moved and stuff like that. And what should have been basically a 1 day sort of easy move just down the street. Like I'm basically the same, I didn't change anything except the last two numbers of my apartment building, basically. Like essentially on the same block, it turned into this like 2.5 day long ordeal where I was just like driving this 9-foot U-Haul van around, and also driving this 9-foot U-Haul van around and like looking for parking in the city because they shut down my street to get like some work done or something like that. But all to say,
are you billing them for all that?
Unpacked from that. I'm probably gonna, because I still got to find like, and this guy has like such
you better.
So I've had the same landlord for like a year basically at this point, and his favorite thing to do
a year
like,
or 8 years?
If he
a year or 8?
A year, 1 year.
So there's no credibility, there's no connection. This person is a scoundrel.
Basically, yeah. He's like
this is a bloodless vampire dealing with. This is nobody that like has been looking out for you. This is just somebody living off you.
Yeah, basically. And what he really likes to do is we have an open room. And so last year we had a room open in our building, or in our unit rather. It was a 3-bedroom, and me and my friend were living in 2 of the rooms there. And we had this third room open, and my roommate and I found this guy that we really, really liked and would have loved to live with. And we sent his information along to the landlord, and then the landlord just put some other guy in there who he found, who ended up being like, and this was during the like peak of COVID. It was like a COVID denier, and would like listen to Alex Jones in our kitchen, like on speaker, and just would leave and like go to bars and just bring random people around our place and not give us a heads up about it. And now I have to run point to fill. Yeah, now I have to run point to fill another empty room in our place, in this current place that I'm in. And I have like Facebook ads up, and I have like Craigslist ads up and things like that. And I just get these, I get folks messaging me all the time. And because of like all that stress, I just like don't know, like people that I think I would want to live with. I kind of have to like filter out, because I'm like, I don't know if he's going to accept this as someone to, take money from every single month like that.
Do you get like a finder's fee or something? It sounds like you're working for him.
The finder's fee is that my friend that moves across country gets his security deposit back. I don't get anything.
Okay.
You know what though? You should find out how much a move costs.
Well, they know, they just did it.
Right. I'm saying find out how much it would cost to hire professionals and send an invoice for the exact amount that it would cost.
No, it doesn't matter how much it costs for professionals. It costs how much you spent. Take every dollar that you spent and put it in an Excel spreadsheet, including lunches and breakfast and any time and labor that you put into it, and send a bill to them, and then deduct it from your rent and go into escrow otherwise. Like that's on them. That's not like a courtesy that you're going to do to somebody that you don't fucking know.
Damn, that's baller. That's actually way further away from how I would handle it, which is just eat the cost and complain about it constantly.
Yeah, I'm in the Brian section. I'm in the Brian kind of mindset about that. I'm just kind of like, it's money, and it's also, fuck. I should like get a little like more Brett about this, just because like he doesn't know that I'm not working at the moment. I was working like customer support, and I quit that job a couple months ago, and I have been avoiding looking for a new job. Basically, I'm trying to take it a little more serious now, just because I'm running towards the end of my savings. But I spent an awful lot of my own money that I didn't think I was.
I would say the other thing
down the block.
If you can't do the paperwork, like you could smash some windows out at like 4 a.m. and no one knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened. No, you fucking break that dude's window out. Nobody knows what happened. You can get away with that so easily. So that's the other Brett maneuver if you don't want to deal with paperwork.
Well, I mean, in my maneuver, my way of dealing with things is I'm afraid of confrontation, and it makes me nervous. Like, I don't even think like when I'll say this. I am not afraid of confrontation with my friends and my family. Like, I'll generally be, semi-confrontational to them, but like to some guy I don't know that is my landlord, terrifying. I'm terrified. I bought, I'll tell you a story. I bought a phone case a couple weeks ago because my old phone case fell apart. It just fell to pieces, a piece of shit. So I go and buy this phone case. It's an OtterBox, the OtterBox brand phone case. I had it for less than 24 hours, and the volume up button fell off of it. It completely fell off of the phone. It's gone. And there's nothing I could possibly do, right, that could cause that. Like, what would I be doing where the volume button falls off of the phone case?
Yeah, you can't put that much stress on it in one day. Yeah. I mean, you could, but
no, I can't.
Yeah, a hammer? You have a special ability to break stuff.
I mean, I think it would take a hammer.
Yeah, you're the hammer. I mean, you're so powerful. You talk about it all the time. How powerful you are.
That's true, but
you apply power too much sometimes.
But seriously, there is no scientific possible way that I should be able to do that.
Stop bragging about yourself.
Stop
bragging about yourself. Right? Stop bigging yourself up.
So then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna fucking take this thing back. Then I got nervous that they wouldn't let me take it back. So now I just have an OtterBox with a volume button missing, and I don't have it. I didn't keep the receipt.
Hey,
and now I'm living a life without a phone, with a shitty phone case.
Yeah, I would say in that what I would do to motivate myself in that arena would be go return the phone case and then spend it on gambling or something frivolous. Like, I would do it to get your points back against them, but reward yourself with as if you never were going to get the money back, since you're defeatist about it anyways.
It's not that I mean, I don't want the money back. That's the fucking.
You don't want the money back for a broken thing you bought?
I bought a $50 goddamn phone case that fell apart the day after I bought it.
Absurd.
And now
get your loafers out, get a Oxford shirt on and khakis, and go raise hell in that phone store.
I don't know what to say. Now it's been 2 weeks.
Unacceptable.
It's been 2 weeks now. I don't want to have the conversation with the guy at the fucking T-Mobile store, which I don't even have T-Mobile phone. Well, I do technically. I have Sprint, but like I just stopped in this store and I fucking bought what I thought was the nicest phone case they had. And now I have this thing that's 2 weeks old, and it's the real reason why I haven't done it is because I don't want the confrontation with the guy at the place, because he's going to do what you just did and tell me I broke it. That's what I think is going to happen, is he's going to be like, so what'd you do to it? And I didn't do it. For all I know, the goddamn thing didn't even have the button.
I see it with that one.
No, No, see, this is no, because I don't work for the place, so I can say how I feel. They don't give a fuck. They just put it in like their system that you had to do an exchange. They're just going to hand you another worthless $50 phone case is all they're going to do.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, for me, Brett's way of dealing with things is the best way to deal with. I mean, sometimes he's a dick or whatever, but here's the thing. That's better, because if you're a Brian, right? Like if there's people in the chat saying I'm a Brian, and you might be a Brian. You said you're a Brian Mason, and like you never feel happy with anything that you do ever, because you never fucking, you just take the blame. You're always, you can't, the thing that happens is you start, when you become so afraid of confrontation with strangers, you then start blaming yourself for everything. Yeah. That's a Brian, right?
Well, yeah, this landlord was basically like, oh, yeah, fuck, I got to pay for this person to move so that they can save money on their rent. God damn it. That's going to cost me a lot of money. And then you internalize that and you're like, well, I can do it. Like, I'm glad you were looking out for me. I can pay. And it's like that. It's just, people will walk all over you. Like the worst people of all get by. That's how they get by. The only reason that they're able to continue, whether it's the T-Mobile cell phone plan or a landlord, is just because most people just will get walked on and don't want to cause a problem. Like that's the only way that it works.
Well, let me say this though. Here's where I have to take Mason's side here, right? In that, like, you don't want to fuck with your landlord. You gotta live in the landlord's goddamn fucking house. That's why I'm such a fucking, oh my God, dude, my fucking shit fucks up. And I'm like, oh, hey, it was never really a big deal that the tub was leaking into my living room. I'm just glad you fixed it on the third try.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just afraid people are, I mean, what do you do when you're dealing with a landlord?
I mean, there are so many other bad landlords that are willing to take you under their tutelage. Like it's like bad jobs. There's just no reason to put up with some sort of minor dictator because you can go elsewhere.
Well, Mason, here's what I do think though. I'm over 10 years into this apartment, and I have to keep this apartment until 2 years from now. I got 2 years. My daughter is in 11th grade. Once she gets through 12th grade, I can move. I can go wherever I want, anywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel stuck here because it's a very small school district and it's very expensive to live here. And I have like a really cheap apartment for where I live. You should get the fuck out of this place as soon as your lease is up. I think that is where my advice would go. Is
here's the thing with that. This is not the way that my landlord does things. It's a month-to-month lease. I could conceivably leave whenever, but at the moment I don't have a job, and that's the thing that is preventing me from looking for somewhere else to live. And I put just my physical and mental and emotional energy into this move that I want to just stay put for at least a month or two, or at least until I can get to a point where I can pay people to move my shit for me, because I'm not doing this again.
Let me offer a baby step. Let me offer something that isn't like a full aggressive, I'm taking your ass to court thing. Wait until you get all of the numbers and say, hey man, this move cost me $800. It cost me X amount of dollars and it's really hurting. It's going to prevent me from paying rent in the future. You were going to spring for a moving company, can you cover this? You don't say, can you cover some of this? You say, can you cover all of this? Because they're never going to pay you the amount of money. They're Trumps. They are United States. They're not going to pay the whole thing. You ask for the whole thing. And then if they offer to do half, if they offer to do 75%, it's better than just like sitting there and whimpering and taking.
Damn. Now, see that, Brett, let me explain something to you. That is a practical solution for O'Brien. Right there. I could do that. I could be
straight up say out loud, you cost me $1,000.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is maybe something that you could pull off there.
And they have to live with it.
Like to maybe get a month of free rent or something like that, just to be like, dude, it cost me a bunch of fucking money to do this. And then if you need a receipt for movers, somebody in our audience can get you a receipt for movers for sure.
I could, so I had to pay for basically 2.5 days of a U-Haul van rental and also for one night of parking overnight for that. And I haven't even thought to consider like the price of gas to refill the U-Haul, to kind of get covered there. But your time is also worth money.
Your time is worth it too. Yeah.
Your time's worth at least $20 an hour.
And it's okay to say also, I know there was a miscommunication, but I expected that somebody else would do this in one day, and it's now ruined 3 days of my life.
Yeah. Okay.
You're allowed to be honest. You don't have to be, you're not mean or bad, or you're not pointing anything out. You're allowed to say out loud what your life has been like in any situation that you're in. You're allowed to tell other people what you've been living through, and you should never feel bad about it, because that's your lived experience. And they're going to dismiss it, and he's going to try to get out of it, and maybe you'll get nothing out of it, but you should at least say what that person did to you at them. And then, after that, you just live with it, because you can't control other people ever, and they're never going to be satisfactory, and they're always disappointing. I know that for sure. But as long as you represent yourself openly, you'll get a better result in the end, and you don't have as much grief later.
Yeah, I think that would be, because like I'm having trouble finding it, but because of the zip code, I don't have the zip code, but it says here that like on this movers.deals, which I don't know the website or whatever.
It's the top website for movers.
It says though, what it says at the top is, look, it shows the long distance, how much that starts at, but then it shows local moves as low as $65 an hour. So as low as means that's the cheapest possible thing. You at least did $65 an hour worth of work.
Oh yeah, those
at least
the minimum level movers are they're just warm bodies. They don't even fucking show up most of the time. So yeah, bill them for 65 and see what they'll give you.
Okay.
That's what they would have had to pay if the movers had shown up. Unless your landlord, my landlord does pull this thing where he hires his friends. So if you don't feel comfortable going for 65,
that's what my guy probably would have done too. Well, that's the thing.
Doesn't matter.
Like, I said
they should have done it then.
Yeah,
they were in charge of the project. They handed over the project management to you. Now you're working with your budget. They're working with your time. They should have handled it themselves if they wanted it to be the most budget conscious version. Instead, they handed it over to somebody else. These are the costs associated with that. You don't get to pick. You didn't do the work. You outsource. You call a fucking plumber and you're going to tell a plumber that they can't fix toilet for what they say they need? No, we're movers. We moved. We're movers. We move. We get $65 an hour.
Yep. I love it. But if you want to be like me, again, you could even get $50 an hour, but you deserve something. Even if he's not going to cut you a check, he should knock off some of your rent at the very least for this month. And when I say some of, I mean at least half. right?
But here's the thing. I think expectations is what makes people cower in fear. I think that people, they want to expect that something's going to happen, that at least maybe something good will happen or not. It's never about what's going to happen on the other side. It matters about you following through and representing yourself, because in putting it in their lap. Well, who cares? There's no reason to speculate on it. Just do it and deal with it, because otherwise you were just going to eat the costs, and that's fine. And you can move on with your life and be okay. But otherwise you're allowed to tell someone out loud what they did to you, and you know, retribution, satisfaction, all that stuff is never guaranteed, but it does make you feel better in the end to know that like you put someone's business in front of them.
I'll tell you the truth too. Every time I have, and I'm not bullshitting here. This isn't like me bullshitting. Every time I've stuck up for myself, the way I feel for the rest of that day is unmatched. There's no drugs. There's no nothing that matches the way I feel after I've defended myself with somebody, you know, with like a landlord or a boss or any of that kind of stuff.
And I don't want to fill your head with this sort of like macho attitude, like you're supposed to beat their asses or fucking show them what's what. But you're allowed to just express yourself and how you feel, because you're in a relationship with this person. They're in charge of your safety and security. You're allowed to express to them how that shit makes you feel, especially when it comes to a business scenario, you know?
Yeah. This is totally, this is a business scenario too. I mean, you really, if this guy thinks he's going to get away, like if he offered you movers and then he thinks he's going to get away with just not doing it and having you do it, like, fuck him, you know? Like, that pisses me off just to think about. Like, hey, what the fuck, dude? What were you ever going to pay for it? Or like, did you just think you got out of it? Like, is that what you think? And he probably does think he got out of it. That's the other side, dude.
That's how people get ahead. I mean, that's our system rewards this kind of behavior. This is how these people make money and are successful and are in charge of other people's fucking households.
Yeah, this dude thinks he got away with it. And you know what, Mason, call us next week and let us know either if you do it my way, there will be no shame in that because I do everything my way. But if you do it Brett's way, and let us know how it turns out.
It's on a scale. It's on a scale from 0 to 100.
It's a spectrum. I will certainly call back in with, I guess, a little report on this. And, if my day tomorrow will either be stressing out and procrastinating, looking for work, or stressing out and procrastinating about calling my landlord and sticking up for myself. And you know what? Maybe I will have time in my day to actually do one of those things, or both of them, or sometime later in the week. We'll certainly see. But
Mason, my day,
this is certainly pretty inspiring.
My day will be the same thing without the looking for work part. So I totally understand.
And you know what? I'm a master procrastinator. Actually, I was going to, this is kind of related. I was going to tweet this earlier and I didn't because I was trying to get the syntax down. But like, people complain that like folks that are like chronically late, like don't respect their time. But the only reason I'm late is because anyone that's early to anything I invite them to, like they aren't respecting my procrastination. Like if I said something's happening at 10, I was working on it until 9:59. So if you show up at 9:45, like that's uncool. That throws me off my rocker. Like I'm pushing it to the limit here. So please respect the way I do things here. So sorry, my advice, I'm just saying I identify with that. My advice, when you get the whim, when you have like the passion in your belly, when you have the fire, when you feel like you want to write it down, do it. And then just do that rough draft and then go over it one more time. But just whenever you get this, whenever the moment strikes you to say, hey, we moved out, we were under the assumption that there was going to be movers. Instead, we handled it all ourselves. Movers usually cost this amount per hour. We paid this amount for the truck. Here is how much we spent on food. In total costs, it cost us X dollars to pay for that. We would like to receive a credit or money paid back in some form, you know.
Also, you know, if you need even one more little physical bit of advice, maybe just do a little bit of cocaine. You know?
No, it's not. It's bunk now, man.
No,
do acid, bro. Do a little bit of acid.
Scene, man, I appreciate the advice, but that's not my scene. I got personal reasons for sticking away from that in particular. No disrespect to anyone that has their fun doing that, but that's not a thing.
Cocaine's killing people out here. It's not good to do anymore.
Right. I was just saying it as in like for confidence. Maybe get a little drunk if you drink, you know, just that perfect level. I was just trying to get
LSD, baby bit of LSD.
Yeah.
Solve all your problems.
I got
and you can fuck all night.
That has a killer shot and beer deal. So maybe I get a little bit of real courage and then celebrate with a $5 shot and beer, and that's how I do it. So in any case,
yes,
I'll figure something out.
Appreciate the call, Mason.
Well, thanks for calling, Mason. Good luck.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was peace.
Yeah. Oh, that's a crazy story, Brett.
I mean, yeah, that is finagled. That is finessed. Because, you know, it sucks because in that arrangement, I think that in American society, we all accept that the landlord, not in like what street fighters believe, but in like the American textbooks, what they teach at American public schools is that like the landlord is like a wealth creator that's smart, that like diversify their income and they have all their shit together. So there is all this talk about how there's a fomenting rage against the landowners and landlords and all that stuff. And this person went like beyond everything and said, hey, I understand that like you could get more money at this place and I'm willing to downgrade to another place that you own. Since you own several fucking you own several apartments, you own several places to live. I'm going to help you out. And then they take advantage of you, which is that's landlord behavior. That's like boat shoe behavior. That's like every fucking asshole thing is that they can walk all over people and it happens. That's how Donald Trump got where he was at. I mean, that's the whole story is getting people to do the work and then paying half when they're done. I mean, you totally getting rolled over by that fucking guy because they pretended like they were about to lay down $2,000 in order to get someone out of an apartment they could be getting more money for. And instead they got somebody else to bankroll the whole fucking thing. Are you kidding me? That's
right. What they pretended really was that like, I guess they pretended like they were going to do the right thing because they know the right thing and they did do it. They know what the right thing is. And they didn't do it. They pretended because they knew they were supposed to do something. And
they're not going to make money and they should spend. You got to spend money to make money. Like you hear that, but then it's also like, or you could rip people off and make more money.
That's true. There is more money in ripping people off for sure.
It's the best way to make money, really.
Yeah.
Not paying people to move your fucking clients is the way to go. Or your clients, your renters.
Did we just lose the call queue?
There's nobody in there.
Done?
It's the end of the show.
Right.
That was the last call.
Hey, we did it. I had something I wanted to say to you, and now I totally fucking forgot it about something you said on that last call that was really good, and then I fucked it up. But yeah, but I think like it's really funny. Like it's really funny to think about the difference in the way that we handle stuff, and it would be really funny for me to act like oh, I got it all 100% right. Like I'm the one that does things right when I literally never ever stick up for myself.
Well,
you know?
I mean, but you know what I've found, and then like I spend the least amount of time in life worrying about things by just saying how I feel with everybody. And all the time, like I just say how I feel instead of like thinking about how they're going to take it or how I can make it sound better or worse. Like you just say, this is how you made me feel. This is what you put me through.
Really?
Like I don't care about, like, it doesn't matter what the outcome is going to be. Like this is what has happened to me. This is how I feel about this experience. Like that's just, I don't know. I just get it out over anything else because like people can't rock with it. And, you know, he could send a $900 invoice and say, I'm going to do escrow on you. And that person could ignore it. And you know what I would do? I would just eat it. I'm not going to follow through. I don't have the time to follow through on a court case. So like, I'm not saying here, I know what the best action is or that like, I would actually do it. But as far as making my like opinion known, that's something that everyone else has to deal with. Like otherwise stay away because you have to hear how I feel about our interaction.
True. I mean, and also like saying your feeling is not like, I mean, it can be taken the wrong way, obviously, you know, but it's also like not your responsibility to make like if generally I believe that people want to know how you feel, right? Like how they made you feel. Like I have to say that like I'm fairly certain on my end of this, if I say something to you and you feel bad about it, like I would like to know that. I don't want you to eat it like I do.
Yeah.
I don't want you to eat it and then like twist it in, because all that happens after that is you fucking twist it in your head where like for me it turns into anxiety because it turns into anxiety because I blame myself for whatever I felt in that moment. Like I'm never going to blame the other person. It's always going to be like, oh fuck, I can't believe you made them say that.
Well, and then or like you think you feel bad because you're like 900 you spent $900 on a move that like they hustled you out of and you feel ashamed about it and you feel like you know, like it's your fault, but like you got taken advantage of by a bad person and that's not a problem. You know,
no, it's not
like it's the same way I felt. I got taken advantage of by Toyota for their bad headlight situation. And I had to pay a lot of money that I felt ashamed about. But like, I don't feel ashamed about it actually. Like I'm not a car person. I shouldn't know this shit. I don't think that like I don't think that we should always feel bad. Like there's just not I don't know. Everyone finds a reason to feel bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that it feels like it really does feel like and maybe that's just because the way I feel is that like you're almost searching for it but all the time, because that's something I've been noticing like lately when I'm having like anxiety attacks is I'm like, why am I thinking about this stuff? Like why am I walking around sweating and worrying and thinking
you
about
shouldn't
this
be
thing?
See, but that's the thing is that's what I'm saying is that in most of my life I'm chill with everything. Like if somebody like minor social interactions I have no problems with. Like I live my day to day very chill. But someone that's obviously being an asshole like this, these are the times that you should disrupt your normal like anxious lifestyle and go out on a limb to tell a landlord that they're a piece of shit, or to tell like a boss, or, you know, to represent yourself in a way that like to tell them, because otherwise, you can mostly, I mean, everybody else is meaningless. Like the world dies with you. Who gives a fuck at who's in front of your face? Just get out of there and they go away. Like out of sight, out of mind.
It's funny when you say that too, is that like I was never afraid to let my boss know how I felt ever until the other side of college. Like when I worked at the camera store and the diner place, I was for some reason paralyzed with fear about those bosses.
Well, because you had matured and you understood the internal reasonings of other people and how you could do something and like cause a lot of damage psychically to somebody with your words and the way you act.
But I mean, even in the end of that, I ended up being, I threw salad dressing at one of the guys and I screamed at him in his own restaurant. And then the other guy, I just said, well, I mean, I'm leaving then. Yeah. And when he wouldn't give me a day off. So like, yeah, I don't know what happened where I wasn't like afraid of bosses ever. And I guess maybe one of the reasons for that is when you're 16 and you get your first job, you don't need that job. So it's like you kind of start out at 16 or 15 or whenever you started. I started 16 because I wasn't like a good looking kid. And but you start, yes, good looking kids get jobs at 14, 15-year-old guys that look like me get jobs when they're 16, when they like hit the point where they're like, you don't have to deal with the extra breaks.
They're not willing to do the extra work.
Yeah. But anyway, like I think you started a job.
No, I get it. Like some sweet little 15-year-old, you're like, you are cute as a button. We got to get you back here at McDonald's. I'm going to put in the extra time.
Yeah, but a guy comes in looking like me in my clothes and they're like,
you're gonna steal. You're a drain on this fucking situation already.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's because I started a job at 16 where I wasn't afraid of my boss because I wasn't afraid to get fired because I didn't give a shit if I got fired. And I think that's why I started out on that foot and then was able to.
But I think that's for most people. I mean, there are bad jobs everywhere and there's bad landlords everywhere. Like, I'm not worried about making the landlord mad. Like, if you have the wherewithal to spend 2.5 days like moving yourself on a whim, you can also find a new landlord to treat you like shit. Like you can also find a new job to treat you like shit. There's no reason to spend any sort of time in those service industry jobs you shouldn't put up with anything. You should walk out. Like, unless you're not in a career, you're not in a fucking career.
That's so funny too, that you brought that up. Like that, like Mason had Mason did a fucking really hard thing. Like what he did wasn't some like bullshit, easy thing. Moving a whole fucking apartment and then packing up other people is like a lot. That's a ton of fucking work. And like, if you can do that, if you can get yourself through that, you got to be able to get yourself on the other side of the conversation. But again, I also know where he's thinking, because when I fucking think about myself, like I would much rather make myself uncomfortable. I think you do the same thing. You did the same things while you were married. You would just rather make yourself uncomfortable and busy and feel shitty than to just be like, than to like have the conversation and the argument about whatever the thing is.
No, I'm not saying this because I know anything. I'm saying this to remind myself as well. Like, this is all for me to pump myself up because I mean, you spend so much time in the muck and the mire and the half steps, and you just have to find your way on the other side. You're young enough, we're all young enough to just do something else. And that's what you should do instead of like hemming and hawing.
Absolutely.
So, Who Moved My Cheese is an inspirational book.
And before we get out of here tonight, Fixer Punk asked, is this a 2-hour show now? I'm going to say this, even though I don't want to. No, this is still a 3-hour show, but there's got to be 3 hours worth of calls because me and Brett don't prep this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 hours is fine with me. I mean, I gotta get up at 8 a.m. for kid fucking school shit. So dude, 2 hours is fine. If y'all want 2 hours, go with it.
Yeah, I gotta get up at noon. All right, boys. Everybody, guys, gals, non-binary pals, enjoy. Get on that Patreon. Shocktober, Opie and Anthony 3 gets recorded tomorrow. and it'll be out September 30th.
Who's that? Daryl at the beginning? Daryl Coit? What was his name?
I want to thank you, Daryl. Yeah, Daryl. I'll talk. Like I said, Daryl will be on Shocktober with me, and yeah. So September 30th, get on the Patreon. Also, because it gives you time to listen to Street Fight Reviews, the MCU movie cinematic universe, which I believe to be one of our best series for a few reasons.
It's a lot to deal with.
One being that it feels like we have a job because it is miserable. It's like just mopping the floor or deck brushing.
They're like, I want that whole sporting department faced by the end of the night, and you're like, fuck, I can't do this. I can't pay attention. I can't bring all these Hot Wheels to the end of the hooks.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about Vampires Suck this week. But I say go back through and listen to all of them because I truly think it's one of the funnier shows we've done because all of our guests have been miserable except for Jack and Leslie. because they got to watch Scary Movie.
They are, yeah.
But yeah,
their brain is upside down anyways.
Yeah, get on there. And we love you.
We do love you. It's true. And we'll see you on Wednesday night to talk about Jim Brewer on Street Fight.